Now, in this episode of Call to Glory, we're going to look at what can rightly be called the original gospel, or good news that Jesus and John the Baptist proclaimed to the people of Israel at the beginning of their public ministries. And truth be told, this good news was, and still is, in its purest sense, a Jewish gospel. Think about it. Christ himself said he was only sent to proclaim this good news to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as the Apostle John wrote, he came to his own, and his own did not receive him. So what was this good news? And why did Christ expect that it would be good news to those who heard him in Israel and Samaria? The gospel of the kingdom. Now let me be perfectly clear. I am not a Jehovah's Witness, and I am in no way promoting their counterfeit gospel of the kingdom, not by a long shot. What I am talking about is the gospel of the kingdom spoken of by the Hebrew prophets, John the Baptist, the apostles, the New Testament writers, and Christ himself, or as it's also called in the New Testament, the gospel of the kingdom of God. In our last episode, we looked at one example of this from Mark's gospel. Here are two more, one from Matthew and a parallel passage from Luke, from the New King James. Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. Matthew 9:35. From Luke. Now it came to pass afterward that he went through every city and village, preaching and bringing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God. Luke 8:1. It's very important to remember that everything Christ said, every single word, was spoken within a biblically Hebraic, historical, theological, and eschatological context. Same with the writers of the gospel accounts, and for that matter, the entire New Testament. The New Testament scriptures must be read, interpreted, and understood in a manner that's faithful and true to that context. And so it is here. At its most basic level, Christ's statement to his fellow Israelites that the time is fulfilled and the kingdom of God is at hand meant that the long-awaited covenant promises God had made to Abraham, King David, the nation of Israel, and the Jewish people were finally coming to pass, just as it had been foretold by the Hebrew prophets.